Welcome to the Reseller Island podcast hangout. We are going to be doing this live, so everyone that is seeing this now, please feel free to ask some questions, make some comments, and let's all hang out together on the island. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man.
Yeah, doing great, man. How about you?
I just got back from the dentist. It was at 3 o'clock. It's 6:30 my time now, so it's been 3.5 hours. I still can't lift this
little
side of
numb.
my face.
Yeah.
But it's almost back to normal.
I feel like when it's almost back to normal, that little tingling is the worst part. Like it's like an itchy tingling. Yeah. Everyone's got to do it.
Yeah, I didn't go to the dentist for 5.5 years, so I had to get a deep cleaning for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they had to numb me up for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, how's your guys' reselling day going?
It was a busy day in general, not even reselling related. I mean, eBay sales were pretty good today for me, though. How about you, Shane?
I'm looking now. Kind of a average day, right at $100, which is about average for me. Could be better. I do have some offers to send out though that I didn't realize I had, so I'm gonna go ahead and send them out.
There you go. I'm gonna share this on my YouTube channel real quick.
Nice.
Live.
Yeah, I had a few people come in and buy like multiple pennants in one. Like one guy bought 4, one guy got 3, and then another bought 2. So it's always nice to like those shipments are a lot easier when it's like multiples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Do
sure.
you get multi-quantity offers pretty often?
Yeah, I do for sure. Cause a lot of them I'll put a bunch of states up at once. So these were all like New Hampshire pennants we're selling today. So yeah, so definitely, I get that a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm depressed. Keith might be feeling okay. It was the NBA draft lottery yesterday. The Jazz had the worst record in the NBA. We had a 14% chance at getting the first overall pick. We had a 52% chance of getting between 1 and 4. And we had a 48% chance of getting the 5th pick. And we dropped all the way to the 5th pick. And but the Sixers hopped up into the top 3. So that's actually going to be really interesting.
Yeah. And that's a spot where you don't really know where they're going to go, right? I feel like 3 sort of like they can go in a number of different directions.
It's honestly possible that they trade it to the Jazz. I think we'd be interested in trading 5 for 3 and including a pretty decent.
Oh, is he? There we go. I think a player too. Is that what you're saying, Jake?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Drop your basketball knowledge. What do you got?
Bulls, Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan. That's about all I remember. And the white dude. I can't think of his name. John Stockton.
He was on the Jets.
Yeah.
So he went against the Bulls and lost.
Yeah, I don't know much about basketball at all. I just never got into it when I was a kid. Never followed it as an adult. I was always baseball and football.
You know, it's weird, and it's a different time now than it was back then. But I mean, Karl Malone, a famous Jazz player.
I know that name.
Yeah, I never heard any of the negative things about him until I started ripping packs, and I hit a Karl Malone card, and then I got all kind of comments in my chat. Like that story, I guess, never got a lot of press, at least stuff that I saw. But
yeah, he impregnated a 14-year-old when he was a 19-year-old, and that baby actually went on to play in the NFL. But
really,
Karl Malone still never claimed him, because if he did, he probably would go to jail. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I see Corey said, I remember Spud Webb gave us short people hope. Yeah, I remember Spud Webb.
Dude, good old Spud Webb, 5'7", dunk champion.
Yeah. That's 5'7" is short, not 5'9", as we covered.
Yeah, not 5'9". Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And then there's good old Muggsy Bogues. He was 5'3".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shorter than the average American woman. And
he played for the Hornets, is that correct?
Most of his career, yeah.
Yeah, see, I remember back in those days, I remember some of the players.
Yeah, he was 5'2", 5'3", and his center was Monte Bowell, who was 7'6", 7'7". So sold a lot of tickets putting that 5'3" guy next to that 7.5-foot guy.
I remember Dikembe Mutombo and Manute Bol being like the tallest guys I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You know, as a
Manu
kid.
Bull made Dikembe Mutombo look short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Manu Paul when he was a Sixer because you didn't see big men, like a freakishly big man, shoot the three like he did. I mean, he didn't shoot it a ton, but he did more than anyone else. How tall was AI? I would say probably, yeah, right. I was gonna say 5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah, he was like 6'1" in shoes, so like 5'11" and 3/4 probably without him. That's the thing is, like you see that Draymond is like listed as 6'7", but with his shoes off, he's 6'4.5". Everyone was saying that Ace Bailey, who the Sixers may pick at 3, was 6'10", but they just did the combine the other day, and he was 6'7" without shoes. So
it's a big gap, right?
But then there's Kevin Durant, who lies about his height, and
Jake's having
he's
some
always been
internet
listed
issues.
as 6'9", but he's like 6'11".
Oh, really? Yeah, that's weird. You would undersell yourself.
He says he didn't want to play power forward or center.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, 6'9" is like a taller small forward. So I always made sure that it said 6'9", so they wouldn't play me as a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
I gotta get me a gaming chair. You guys are rocking gaming chairs. I'm on a stool.
We definitely stool doesn't sound comfortable, but I got this from my son because we got him a better gaming chair for Christmas, so I got the hand-me-down gaming chair.
Gotcha. Yeah, this stool's one of those like mechanics garage stools. So when I bought it, it was super padded and comfortable, but I've been sitting on it for 2.5 years now, making videos and stuff, and not so comfortable anymore.
Sean's in the house.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
A bunch of people. Anthony's over in the chat.
Rad Relics, John.
Rad Relics. What's up, man? Corey was first in the chat I saw earlier.
Corey said he drafted $1,000 worth of items today. There you go.
Nice.
I listed a $1,000 item today.
Logix. Is it Logic Z or Logix?
I just call them Logic.
He's going Logic. I think I got everyone over there.
Dude, good old
and
Logic.
SCG's in the house. What's up, SCG?
Logix, I call them Logix. Logix made I don't know what to call it, a little thumbnail for my live shows.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, I did it for $20. So anyone that's interested in little thumbnails and stuff, hit Logix up on First Class Treasures. They'll do it for you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay, he just confirmed his Logix too. Yeah, Logix reached out to me on Instagram, and I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be reaching back out, and we're supposed to have a conversation about some stuff. So Logix, I will get to you, man. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Every time I say Logix, I think of Logitech.
Yeah.
House.
Yep.
I got one too.
I took this thing apart today.
Here's mine.
The left click was only working like half of the time, so I had to tear it apart, rubbed it with some alcohol, and now she's good to go.
This thing right here, it's oddly shaped. You hold it,
yeah,
like this. It's the most comfortable, ergonomic. It was like a freaking $100 or something, but man, I love that thing.
This one's really nice. It's classic, but it has the ergonomic. This one was like $200. It's really nice though.
I got the lowest quality mouse in the house, but it's a Logitech.
Your chairs beat mine, so
yeah. There you go. The MX Master 3, yeah, it is really good, except for when it doesn't work on the click.
What does Keyboard Cat like to eat? The mouse.
Are you kidding me, right? Meow. That was perfect.
Shane, I was telling Jake, I recorded with the leftovers today, filling in for Philly Picker. So I think that'll be out tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah,
I remember when I used to listen to that podcast, because Jimmy, one of the most underrated podcasters in the space, made it a great show, and then Mike, can't understand him, made it a terrible show, but they evened each other out. But now that Jimmy's gone, it's just lost cause over there.
I still love him. I told him I will say this because it might come out. I said, this is my favorite podcast, guys, even the one I'm on. Nothing personal.
Yeah. No,
they're funny over there, man.
They're awesome.
And it's a good combination. Joe's kind of laid back, but Mike and Dan, man, once you get them started.
Well, at the 127 last year, Mike and I shared a bed. I'm like, okay, do you want to be above the sheet and I'll be under it? And he's like, oh, we can just both be under it. So interesting.
I picture Mike as the little spoon.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, not too many resellers are taller than me, but he's got about an inch or two on me. So
Yeah.
Seems like a big guy. Yeah.
He's a big dude, but I tell you what, man, he's so funny. Like I'll screw this story up, but Kevin, we were eating dinner at this restaurant down in Florida, and Kevin was giving Mike such a hard time because you know how they'll bring you bread, and he kept asking for the more bread, more bread, more bread, and he kept eating it, and Kevin was giving him a hard time for eating the bread, and it's like, why not eat it? They're bringing it to me. It's free, you know. He was enjoying it, and he was getting upset because Kevin was giving him a hard time. It was hilarious.
where was that at?
Down in Florida. So back in November, the day I got let go from my job, Lindsay and I were headed down to Florida, or we were going to go that weekend, but we decided we might as well go now. So that weekend we were down there for Dave's container sale and the 150-mile A1A sale, and we ended up going out to dinner. Lindsay and I, Mike, of course, all the Trash to Cash guys and their wives. Well, Heather wasn't there, but Mike Camparelli was there, and Rob Picking a Punch in. It was just a big group of us, but it was such an awesome dinner. Kevin, I believe, treated everybody that night. But him and Mike sat next to, like, Lindsay was here, I was here, then Mike was kind of on the end, and Kevin was in front of me on the other side. And man, them two all night long. That was hilarious. Such a fun group of guys to be around. Yeah, Bama Jaybird, he's short. Like, I met them at Highway 127. Him and Caleb, the Two Old Guys podcast at the time. And Josh is a pretty short little dude, but let me tell you, that man can throw down in the kitchen, y'all. That man knows how to cook.
I think I saw him talking about the get together, what he was planning on cooking, and it was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the 127, there was some good food each night. I worked almost every hour of the day, so I always got the leftovers. But Dan made some good food. Jimmy made some good food. Almost burnt the house down.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he did some chicken thighs on the grill, and but chicken thighs are a lot fattier.
Yeah,
and so
those are tough.
Fat was melting, and then it was just getting in the bottom of that environment, and it got up to like 800 degrees, and it was smoking everywhere. Good stuff. I remember cooking chicken thighs for my first time. I burnt the crap out of them too, because I'll cook burgers and steaks and stuff, and I'll put it on, and then I'll just go away, and I'll set a timer for 3 to 6 minutes, depending on what it is and how I want it cooked. And I come back to it, and it's like maybe 450 degrees in there. But I did that for the chicken thighs, and I came back, and it was like 840. Everything was black. I go, wow.
Yeah, we grill chicken here at least once a week. That's like my wife's favorite thing is barbecue chicken on the grill. So at least once a week, I'd say, especially during the warmer months, I'm on the grill at least once.
Are you a breast or thighs guy?
I like thighs. I like dark meat.
On your chicken or your women?
All the way, all around, man. I don't mind chicken breasts, but they tend to, like, depending on who's cooking them, they get dry very quick. And that's why I prefer the darker
You're
meat.
definitely the guy that hates on people for bone-in wings.
I'm a traditional wing kind of dude, man. I don't. If I want chicken nuggets, I order chicken nuggets.
I like boneless, dude. They're so good. There's just no work.
I can go either way, but yeah, the boneless is, it's a sloppy mess when you're eating wings. Right? The boneless is a little simpler process.
Rad Relics is a white meat all the way guy. There you go.
Yeah,
I'm the same way for chicken. Yeah, Shane, I'm like the people you hate as far as chicken, because I'm like a paranoid with grilling as far as like salmonella, E. coli. I like probably overcooked most of what, other than steak. If I'm cooking a filet mignon or something, I'll leave it a little red, but chicken, I'm a little more cautious with.
Yeah, I had a guy one time ask me to keep his on the grill. Oh God, it was like a good 20 minutes longer than everything else. And I was like, dude, it's done. I promise. And he's like, man, I just don't trust it. It's not you. I don't want to get sick. And I've always been like that. So he's like, make it black.
Only way to eat a steak is medium rare, says JP.
I agree.
I like my medium.
I'll do
Yeah,
rare sometimes. I'll do rare, but I prefer medium rare. At the restaurant I say rare because they always overcook it anyways. So I always say
I always
rare.
order medium, and if they undercook it a little, I'm not mad at medium rare. And if they overcook it at medium well, that's a bit of an issue, but not a huge one, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm with you, buddy. The other stuff
everywhere I
is
go, I don't know. I would
nuggets.
say no pink, says Red Relics, really.
Oh,
Well
I would
done,
have never
Captain.
guessed that about you, John.
Yeah, I would have guessed that he goes hard and does rare, you know?
Yeah. Because John seems like a man's man, you know what I mean? And Sean's allergic to poultry. What kind of garbage is that, man? That sucks.
I assume that he's got to be joking, right, Sean?
I
Is that
hope.
legit? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen him eat chicken on his. No, I know on his video he did the barbecue adventures. Got to be some chicken in them.
Allergic to poultry.
He's not kidding. Oh wow. I'm sorry for accusing you for lying.
I'm allergic to avocados, watermelon, and cantaloupe.
I don't like cantaloupe, so I could care less. But watermelon, dude, I would be so upset if I was allergic to watermelon.
Yeah, I weigh each time I go to like a restaurant or a barbecue. I weigh in my head if it's worth it or not, because it just makes my ears and throat really scratchy. But it doesn't even come close to killing me. So sometimes it'll be so good that I'll just have 5 or 6 little squares. But
Patton's Bargain Bay. Patton's Bargain Bay. So I cannot say that. I know someone who likes their steak twice well done. Insane. How do you chew that? I mean, you might as well get a bag of jerky at that point, right?
Yeah, that's my mom for sure.
I was actually a pescatarian for like 2 years. I didn't eat anything. And it was actually the Eagles Super Bowl in 2017 that I was at like a buffet dinner before the game that I ate this like chili and I'm like, it's pretty good. And there was like beef in there. So I'm like, guess I'm not pescatarian anymore. So, but 2 years.
Did you do pescatarian for like morals or health or what?
Definitely not morals. I think it was probably health. Yeah. More. I ate a lot of fish. So, which I think is a healthy thing for the most part.
That's actually pretty insightful because I guess when I picture a veterinarian, you would think a lot of them would be against eating meat kind of thing because of their passion for taking care of animals and stuff. I love animals, but I eat animals.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't feel like I know some vet techs who I work with or have worked with who are vegetarian or pescatarian or whatever. But I've never met a veterinarian who was. I don't associate with a lot of them other than people I work with. But
yeah.
But you guys see in the news, there was a couple of years ago, there was a veterinarian who I forget what state she was in, but there was like what she thought was a feral cat on her property every now and then, and she like shot it with a bow and arrow and held it up on like Instagram or Twitter, and like, look what I got.
Oh
yeah, you're okay now. Yeah. And she held it up in a photo, like, look, I finally got rid of this tomcat or whatever. And apparently it turned out it was her neighbor's cat. And
oh, no.
It like, I think she lost her job. She's like not even a vet anymore. Not what you want to post on social media when you're a veterinarian, that you're, shooting your neighbor's cat. So even anyone, but let alone a veterinarian. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you deal with mostly domestic animals, right? In your job?
Yep. Yeah. Nothing, no large animal.
No horse or anything like that.
No, I mean, you learn about it in school. I worked on them in school. I try to avoid working on them as much as I could. But
I mean, I feel like that's just a completely different job. It's like, I'm a mechanic, and then there's like a diesel mechanic. I guess horses are kind of like the diesel in this scenario.
Yeah,
well, you do exotics too, right? Though, like snakes and reptiles and things like that.
Yeah, I see a ton of exotics. Yeah, we see more. There aren't a ton of exotic vets in my area, so I see a lot of exotics.
That's awesome.
We see a ton of birds. I don't see birds personally, but we see a ton of birds too at the office. So
nice. So are you like in a suburb of Philadelphia, or are you like right in the middle of the city?
No, I'm in a suburb. I'm like 15, 20 minutes south of Philadelphia.
Oh, that's pretty close though.
Yeah. Yeah, not too bad.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually like a 35-minute drive from Salt Lake, the big city. So
that's not bad. Yeah,
I'm a pretty far off suburb.
So Nate Nate says they hunt cats in Australia. They're invasive and wreak havoc on the environment, so they hunt them. So this is something I preach here around town. I cannot stand outdoor cats. Outdoor cats so cats kill for sport. They don't
Yeah.
eat what they kill. They just kill for sport. Cats are single-handedly responsible for 66 different extinctions throughout time. Single-handedly responsible for that. So I try to preach against it all the time. And I live out in the country. Everybody has cats outside, and it's nuts. But I don't have a problem with cats. I am allergic to them, but I don't mind them. But I hate seeing them outside because they're just destroying animals left and right. They just, they bring you a dead mouse or snake or something and lay it on the porch as a gift. It's sweet in a way, I guess, but like it's just out there killing for fun and nobody seems to care.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as a veterinarian, a fan of like indoor, outdoor cats in general. I mean, not the cat itself, but I mean, it's much healthier, much easier to take care of the pet from a veterinary standpoint if they're indoor only. But I understand people like Corey who has a farm and their animals their farm cats are serving a purpose, or they have a job almost, right? So I get that too, but I don't live in a rural area like that. So it's like, the people who let their cats outside, it's just because, they probably don't want to have a litter box inside. Let them take care of that outside. So
yeah,
different environment.
I've heard stories that they do the same in Florida, though. I guess that Australia does, and they actually it's illegal to hunt feral cats.
Yeah, I never heard that myself. Yeah, and maybe that's where that girl lived. I don't even know.
What was that story with like Trump and the squirrel during the election process?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
How like he was going to make it illegal to kill squirrels or something. I can't remember.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, that was like a big story for some reason. There was like, I guess there was. I don't know. I don't know the details of the story, but people were freaking out about Trump and a squirrel.
Yeah, that's not exactly pandering to the people that follow you, because a lot of the Trump supporters are deep South, grew up on the land kind of people, and they still eat squirrel.
Yeah,
like what I mean.
My dad served his LDS mission for 2 years in Virginia, and he said that he had squirrel at least 2 or 3 times a month.
I've had it a few times. It's not bad.
Casserole, stuff like that.
I've never had
that. I've had it grilled and fried, and it's actually not too bad. But I've eaten lots of stuff that a lot of people probably never would.
Oh, Corey said his farm cats. Corey said his farm cats at the vet more than most house cats. So that's cool. Yeah, I mean that's what I said, Corey. I knew that you take good care of your animals, and they're when you have a farm and you have like chickens and everything else, you probably need them out there.
Looks like Nate has some more details on the squirrel.
Let's see.
Someone in New York caught a squirrel when the city found out. They killed it. People were up in arms about it. I think they basically killed someone's pet.
So I had my pest control business, and maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but legally you have to euthanize anything bigger than a rodent. It was like a pretty gray area, but like any raccoons, skunks, you weren't allowed to just like drive to a little forest and let them go. You legally had to euthanize them if you had a pest control license, which was stupid. But yeah, I would just catch raccoons all the time, just let them go in the forest.
I catch possums here at the house. In the wintertime, they get up underneath the house. They don't really tear anything up, but my dog goes absolutely crazy because he can smell them through the vents and stuff. But they come under the house when it's warm or when it's cold outside, and they'll live up under there in the winter, and then he flips out. So then I got to set a trap and catch them and go release them. They have babies under the house sometimes, so that's always fun. Got to, not only catch the mom, now I got to catch all the babies, keep them together because I don't want to split them up. Can be a pain in the butt. Patton's Bargain Bay says next time you guys are in the South, try some fried gator nuggets, which if you never had them, they are pretty dang good.
I would definitely try that. Yeah, I never have.
It's good stuff, man.
You
guys keep cutting out a little bit, and that one was the longest one. But
you keep cutting out for us.
Yeah, but it got better. It hasn't been as recent, but I didn't notice it now.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I didn't notice it this time.
Hi, Scout. How are you?
Well, Scout's in the house.
Scout is in the house. She's gonna start barking, and I'm gonna get mad at you.
Let's see. I ran a 240-mile trap line from 8th grade till I graduated. I'm not even sure what that means. What is that? Is
So trapping animals,
okay.
204, basically 240 miles. He would go setting traps, catching for people.
Like, okay, like a like part of the fur trade, or is this like I mean, I never heard the phrase trap lines. I just never. But I guess you explained it enough, Shane, too.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume for fur.
Okay, for fur. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys just get a notification on First Class Treasures?
Yep.
I haven't looked.
Is it Jax? Is that what it was?
Yep, Jax just went live.
Cool.
Oh, you got sound on for notifications. Fancy.
I always have my notifications off. I think I mentioned it before, but if I have like a cha-ching going off at work, if I'm in the middle of like a euthanasia and there's like cha-chinging and it's like, it's a little not a great look.
Good stuff. But yeah, dude, the Spurs and the 76ers need to be banned from the lottery, man. I'm sick of them getting the top 3.
It's been a little while for the Sixers, though, right? I mean,
they got Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons. They had the third pick, and the Celtics had the first, and the Celtics traded the first for the third, and they took Tatum, and the Sixers took Markelle Fultz, which was a mistake, but yeah, they get like a top 3 pick every time that they're in the lottery.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that talked about a lot in Philadelphia, and then the talk was always that the agreement was with the Celtics that the Celtics knew who the Sixers were going to take, and if they were taking Tatum, they weren't going to make that trade.
Yep.
But still, it did work out well for the Sixers regardless.
Yeah, and they also got Jahlil Okafor, I think, with the second.
Yeah.
Pick. I think that was second pick. They get good draft. When they suck, they get, and then Joel Embiid was a top 3 pick too. Like they just And then my poor Jazz, man, we've never got the first round pick. I don't think we've ever even had a top 3 pick. Darren Williams was the 4th pick. I think that's our best pick we've ever had. Morris Almond was the 5th. Yeah, dude, it sucks.
That sucks, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Sixers have had a lot of it. You're right. I mean, and they didn't hit on many of them. Okafor was okay for a little bit, but just like a pure offensive guy, not an all-around player.
Yeah, and then Markelle Fultz unfortunately sucked. I guess he got in a motorcycle accident, forgot how to shoot, is what they ended up coming to the conclusion, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like one of those mental glitches like you see in baseball more than basketball, right? Where he just couldn't like figure out how to like release the ball. It was bizarre.
And then Ben Simmons, who can never shoot, won't even try. But yeah. Yeah, man. Now the Spurs gonna get the 2nd pick. They already have Victor Wembanyama. That's a dynasty, man. Like I don't think anyone's really gonna be able to touch him. The Thunder better get a championship or 2 before Wemby goes into his prime, because I don't think anyone's gonna be eating when he's there. It's gonna be wild.
For sure. Yeah, he's definitely a unique player.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh man, guys, I'm hungry. Haven't eaten since 3 because my face has been numb. But
I imagine you are hungry.
Yeah, especially now that I'm getting my testosterone back up. I've been eating like every 2 hours. I've been tracking my calories. I'm over 4,000 calories a day for the last like week and a half. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's impressive. I probably eat very little calories myself. I gotta amp it up a little bit. But it's probably why I look like I do. Not waiting like Jake but I'm also not hitting the gym like Jake either, I'm sure.
I just got 2 plates on bench. That was pretty nice.
Nice.
Got 225. I always get the backhanded compliment. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast already, but people are always like, dude, you bench way more than you look like you can. Like, thanks. So I'm strong, but I look weak. Awesome. JP said, Jake, are you eating more calories to get the testosterone up? Or are you on a certain diet? So I'm not on TRT, testosterone replacement. everyone is paused right now, so I hope I'm not talking over people. Oh no,
No, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, so I'm not on testosterone replacement, but I am on this thing called growth hormone. It's like semamorelin or something like that, and it's making me hungry, so it's awesome. So I'm just eating a ton of calories by accident, and it's also helping me build a lot more muscle. And I'm focusing on, high, I'm staying away from high processed foods, focusing on protein and whole foods, and so I'm gaining healthy weight and moving
Nice.
some iron.
That's
Nice.
good, man.
You see what this cracked me up, Corey. 2 plates is nothing. We had shrimp scampi, and I had thirds.
We had shrimp scampi not too long ago. I know Jake Corey thinks
Vince
Jake
says more weight
thinks
with short arms.
shrimp
That's
is
true. I am
disgusting.
6 foot, but I have a 6'5" wingspan. I hate shrimp.
Yeah, Keith hates
Yeah,
shrimp.
but I'm 6 foot, but I have a 6'5" wingspan. So benching should be hard for me, but it's what I've always been best at lifting wise. It's weird.
I like shrimp, but I don't like to do any kind of work peeling them. If they're like in a process, in some sort of food, like a shrimp taco or something.
Dude, I just don't like a lot of seafood at all. Lobster's okay, and then crab legs are good, but that's really it. I hate sushi. I don't eat shrimp. I don't like fish.
I like sushi, but my son has allergies, so wouldn't eat it with him. And then my wife, she's not a fan of it. So unless there's somewhere that has like sushi and like an Asian noodles or something, it's tough to get takeout maybe.
Dude, this is the allergies podcast tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh no.
Allergies podcast. I'm only allergic to cats though, so.
Dude, my just like normal allergies from, the weather have been pretty gnarly. I just take a 24-hour allergy pill every single day because
Yeah,
dude, I get super stuffed up and sneeze all day long.
I get the same thing, but even though there's pollen everywhere, I didn't really get it that bad this year. I mean, maybe I'm sure it still will happen probably.
Oh, dude, it was horrible down here.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, it was like 83 yesterday. The high is 51 today. So we're in that time period where it's just, you never know what you're going to get. So there was like a ton of pollen up in the air the last 3 days because it's been hot and dry. But now it's like windy and cold. So yeah.
No, it's embarrassing.
Go ahead.
And I was gonna say it was embarrassing. I texted Shane this. Maybe it was a group text that I sent over, but I had to work on Saturday, so I got to miss like a perfect day yard selling. The weather was like immaculate, and but I got done my morning appointments, and I had my lunch break. I hit the yard sale treasure map, and there was like a yard sale like 3 blocks away. I'm like, I'm going out for lunch to this yard sale, but I didn't realize I didn't bring any cash with me really. I mean, what was in my wallet, but usually I bring a lot of cash, not a lot, but I bring a money bag that I put in my backpack.
Yeah.
And I buy like a vintage baseball glove and a cool like 1910 fire department cabinet photo and a bunch of these Star Trek pieces. And I got to look at my wallet. It was like $32 the guy wanted. And I had like 20 something in dollars. I'm like, it wasn't a negotiation ploy. I felt bad. He took what I had in my wallet, but then I found like $3 extra in my car and I gave him. I went back and gave him extra money.
I do that all the time. I always have 400, but I'll only bring like $26 with me to the yard sales, and I'll make sure that it's like 4 ones. So that way, if I buy something for $5, I'm like, okay, do you want 4 ones or do you want to break this 20? And they're like, just give me the 4 ones.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's a smart way to do it. Yeah, he probably thought this was strategic on my part, but it was just an unplanned day of yard selling that happened out there.
I made one video where I went to yard sales and I didn't bring any cash with me, but my dad was there, and so I kept asking for my dad to pay, and then I would Venmo him, and people were getting super annoyed by that. It was funny.
On your video or the sellers?
On the video, like the commenters of the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys just find anything you can to be upset about, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, I have Paul the Philly Flipper coming to my warehouse on Sunday.
Oh,
We're
nice.
doing a big sale on his whatnot for doing a sale from there on Sunday night. So that should be cool. We did it once before, and it did really well. So
I didn't know you and the Philly Flirter were tight like that.
well, it's actually the warehouse that he used to have in his videos, like pulling orders on his the Philly Flipper live channel. That's the same warehouse. I took it over the lease when he moved.
Oh, nice.
And we lived in the same city. I didn't really know Paul before that process of him starting the move. I watched his channel, but we didn't never met. So, yeah, but
That's
he's a
dope.
good dude. Yeah.
Is your warehouse? Would you say it's affordable or is it pretty high?
It's not cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's let's see, what is it? Probably like 2,500 a month. So it's steep. It's like a mortgage.
Yeah.
Now, my buddy, the King of Pennants, kicks in a little bit of it because he's got a chunk of that inventory in there too. But for me, all the storage units I had, when it added up, my storage units in my area are not cheap either. So it was still
how much is like
cheaper.
a 10 by 10 or 10 by 12?
I'd say like probably 400 a month.
Oh yeah, that's high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like in northern Utah, a 10 by 10 is like 140.
Okay.
And then if you want like AC control, it's like 250. So it's way less expensive.
Yeah. Before I moved into the warehouse, I had 4 storage units. One that my original one that I always had, that I bought a second one when we bought the 30,000 pennants.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took over a storage unit from a buddy when I bought the contents of his unit. And then when I bought this massive buy with my buddy, we got a 10 by 60, which was massive.
Yeah.
But that was like $1,000 for that one. So,
well, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
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 I've kind of
It's a little
having
bit
all the
long
inventory come to me, and then I'm putting all the eBay stuff up, and then just like selling everything else on the floor for just dirt cheap, like t-shirts for $1, other shirts for $2. Like you know, and I think that business model would do super well, because I think I would just try to pay the lease with just the floor items, and I'm sure I would make more than the lease every month. And then just really cash cow all of the really good stuff on live selling and eBay. It'd be sick.
You cut out a little bit in the beginning. So you were saying about, was it like a storage unit buy, or what was the?
So I've considered starting my own thrift store and just having people, yeah, and just advertising it pretty well, getting donations, and then just selling all the good stuff on. And I'd be like super upfront about that too. I'd be like, hey, and then sell the good stuff online, and then put the semi to not as great stuff on the floor for just ultra cheap.
Yeah, just blow it out.
Yeah.
It'd be great content too, right? I mean, that's like, who's the dude in a Retro Rick? A little bit of Retro Rick vibes to the
yeah. Well, in the community, I think the community would actually like it too, because I'd be selling shirts for $1, like how thrift stores are supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Or even if you didn't do that, you can get just like, and I don't know how those people install those giant wood boxes, like clothing donation boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, just install them around your put one in your front yard.
I've considered doing that too, just like talking to like grocery stores and gyms.
Yeah.
And like, here's this container. People can just drop their old cameras and phones into it. Sick.
Yeah, I see them all around town, and none of them seem to be legit. Like thrift stores, not thrift stores, but like foundations or anything like that. Yeah. It all seems to be like, I do a little research on them and I can't find anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just random people trying to get free stuff.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT could just create a website ultra quick. I mean, do you guys ever watch people gamble on reels and shorts? They're so funny.
Yeah.
Like they'll play like Plinko and stuff, and they'll just like drop $300 balls. There's this one kid that he made. This is I definitely do not recommend this. This is just a super funny story. He made a fake LGBTQ plus foundation, and he had ChatGPT write the script for it, and then put a GoFundMe at the bottom, and he got $7,000 from it, and he put it all into Plinko, and he turned it into like $28,000.
Jesus
Christ, it was so funny. I was just like, wow, dude, people are
It looks like
funny.
Corey was thinking the same thing you were
just
thinking.
really make it look super official.
I knew ChatGPT could always do that, like create a website. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. No, yeah, with certain extensions, you can just say, hey, just create me a super simple website where I can vlog or where I can sell a
Yeah.
product. And I'll be like, I'll get on it. And then it spits it out really fast.
All I
Yeah.
ever do on there is create superheroes for my videos.
Yeah.
I use it for thumbnails. Is pretty much all. I started to do a little bit more with it, but or if I'm doing a title for YouTube, I'll throw in the title and see if it what I can
Shane, every
change it
once
up.
in a while, you'll have a video where you're talking at just like a solid volume. And then all of a sudden, you'll do your little cut scene to a superhero. And it's
Yeah.
like significantly louder.
Is it really?
Tweet. Yeah, it's fun. I'm not sure if
Not
that was
bad.
just one or two videos or if it's all of them. They're like, yeah, I sold these train tracks for $25 plus shipping. I guess I'm a superhero on the tracks. And it's like, ah!
I don't mean for it to be that loud. I guess I need to look closer at the volume and the editing on those. That's
Yeah.
funny though. No, I never meant to do that.
What was the one today? A bee chasing you? The bee.
Yeah, because I was filming and I'm outside of my shed and the doors are open because I like the natural light, windows and stuff. And a bee came in on me and it just kept I cut a big part of it out, but it would just kept flying around while I was trying to talk, and I finally got aggravated, and I was like, "Get the hell out of here," And I cut a lot of that out, so you see the bee briefly. If you're really looking, you can see it flying around, and then I cut to that scene, or the superhero, but it was me chasing the bee, and the bee was dressed as the superhero.
Brindley is
Soda City
terrified of bees and
Buzzkill.
wasps. She hates them.
My
Hey,
wife too.
Octo's here.
Yeah.
While Octo's here, let me show you guys something. I sourced off of District from Alicia, the inked picker, and I bought this for Octo. But check
On
this out.
dollar auction.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
So Octo, you got another package coming here soon, buddy.
Are you gonna charge Octo the tariffs on it, or is he gonna pay for
Oh,
it?
I didn't even think about that. I've sent him packages and he sent me packages, but that was long before any of that crap. So Octo, I just may send you a picture of this.
No, on the outgoing, you should be good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
Is there a move
in the house?
Oh, there we go. That's my podcast
Hey,
partner. What's up, Andy?
King of babbling. What else is he the
Yeah,
king of? Andy?
yeah.
Uh,
The pauper of penance.
yeah, he's the
Pauper
pauper.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my wife's terrified of the bees and the wasps and all that stuff. And I'll just like smack my hand and stuff. She thinks it's incredible that I do that. On the doors, on the doors when I did pest control, there was always like wasps buzzing around, and I had like a little laminated paper with like my pricing and the bugs that we took care of, and I would just like smack wasps in front of people and be like, "That one's free."
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's
like,
funny.
People would be like, "Oh no, we don't have any bugs," and then there's just like a wasp, and I just, that one's free. Okay.
So my full-time job for the majority of my adult life was building cell phone towers. At the base of every cell phone tower, they have equipment shelters, and on the front door to these shelters, there's usually an overhanging little awning, like a metal awning, and just you walk outside, to make a phone call or something, because they don't always have the best service inside there because it's like a solid brick thing. But the rain, protect you from the rain or whatever. But the wasps always would build nests on them. And I remember the first time I discovered that, I was walking up, I opened the door, and the wasp nest was hanging, and the things are right above the door. So the door hits the nest, it falls on me. I'm lit up, dude. I take off running. I'm lit up with wasp, stings. And I learned a valuable lesson that day is always look up before I open doors. And everywhere I go now, it's like a habit, it's just ingrained into me.
Yeah.
I look to make sure there's no wasp nest I'm going to hit.
A bee over a stink bug, Andy. I mean, stink bugs don't do anything.
They just stink.
Yeah. If you leave them alone, they don't even smell, right?
Yeah. They're bad down here. Stink bugs in the springtime, especially. Yeah.
We don't get, I mean, I have some, but we don't see a ton of them. You see more of
Yeah.
them dead in your boxes later on, but
Yeah.
in the attic,
Yeah,
a
we
little
get
bit.
them. They find their way into the house, and then the dog likes to chew on them.
Yeah. I had
Corey's bringing back the allergies back in the conversation.
I was allergic to bumblebees. Did you there was a bee attacking Mrs. Flips in the 2 Mrs. Flips videos ago. So I did work in a little cartoon bee as well. Yeah.
Good stuff. Everyone's saying that my connection is bad, but I just did an internet test and I'm getting 352 megabytes per second on the download and then 75 on the upload. So those are really good numbers. I don't know what's going on.
And maybe something on my end. I don't know how to test. I don't even know how to get that number. So
if you just type into your phone on Google, test my internet.
Okay.
Or if you see how fast is my internet, there's websites, but also Google's AI will have a button that you just click and it'll test your speed.
Okay, let's see.
It takes like 2 minutes. Shane, do yours too. Let's see
What
if
is
you guys
it?
are rich. Just go into Google and type in test my internet speed or how fast is my internet. And then you can do a free test real quick.
Yeah, you should be able to go to speedtest.com. That's what we used to use out in the field.
Yeah.
I got 670 download and then 185 upload. I don't know how that.
Oh, dude, that's intense. That's really fast.
Yeah, I'm like literally at 10 inches from my router, or maybe a little bit more than that. But
yeah, no, 350 is really good. 670, that's some fiber right there.
Yeah. I got it upgraded recently because I had a lot of internet connectivity issues early on in our podcast on my channel. So I upgraded that.
Yeah, I've always had just the best. I don't care what the price is. Just give me the best internet that's available in my area. So
absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah.
Speedtest.com did not work.
What the hell is he saying here? My old house was swarmed by them, smelled like Keith's house. What the hell is that, Andy? I don't even know what he's talking about, but my house smells delightful.
Guys, I went thrifting right after the dentist right before this, and I found everyone place your bets. There's 50 HP CDRs right here. How much do you think this sells for? It's new.
$40. I've no random guess.
Shane?
Oh,
we can't hear you.
You're muted, Shane.
Still can't hear you.
It wouldn't unmute.
Oh, there you go.
Now you're good. Now you're good. I don't know what happened there.
Well, my mic or my headphones got like super weird for a second, so I unplugged everything. That Focusrite controls the headphones and the microphone and everything. So when I unplugged it and plugged it back in, it took a minute, but then I couldn't get it off of mute.
Oh.
Well, anyway, there is one listed for $229, and 6 have sold in the last 90 days for $150.
That's insane.
I got 3 of them for $1.50 each.
Damn.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. Because a lot of those go for like $15 to $30 shipped, but there's just something special about these ones.
I think I have one of them up in my cabinet above me, but if I try to get it out, I'll have a tower of like a pile of wires and stuff falling out on top of me. So I'll check later. I think I have a digital camera up there I could probably sell too.
Oh, there you go.
I might risk it. Let me see. It's in there, but it's way back. It's a Dynex. I'll mess with it later.
Dynex,
probably goes.
I remember that name.
Probably goes back to my Napster days.
Napster.
Yeah.
You might. I'm sure, Napster.
You're probably too young for Napster, right, Jake? Was that it? That was gone by the time. Yeah.
I recognize the name, but I actually don't know what you're talking about.
It was the music you could rip like pirated music off of Napster, and then there's other ones.
I had Livewire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or Groove Shark.
That's where I spent a lot of my time in vet school in the computer lab, just downloading music and
Yeah,
Now
Napster.
now we've both
Napster
talked
started
about
it
an
all.
illegal activity each. Good.
yeah.
Shane,
The-
what's your illegal activity you wanna talk about on the podcast?
Let me see if there's anything I do.
Well, it was stuff we did. So
Yeah, statute of limitations, I would hope. Right?
Yeah, right. No, the greatest thing about Napster was this dude got filthy stinking rich off of Napster, right? And Metallica raised all kinds of cane about it and sued Napster and all this thing. And Lars Ulrich was the biggest, I guess, issue, but they sued Napster. Of course, Metallica won. And then I can't remember if it was the MTV Music Awards or what it was, but one of the big music awards invited this dude from Napster to come and speak during the award ceremony, and he wore a Metallica shirt, and it was absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. That dude was that dude Justin Timberlake in the Facebook movie in Social Network?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
guys, it feels okay to eat, so that's good.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah.
It's always a good thing.
I'm gonna have a bird. Actually, my father-in-law smoked a brisket over the weekend, and there's a lot of
Nice.
leftovers, so we're gonna have that.
That's always
I
nice.
smoked some ribs yesterday for dinner. Apparently, Andy thinks I'm Johnny Cash.
Oh, is that? I didn't know Anthony had a Johnny Cash lyric. Is that a lyric too, or song?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm familiar
got
with
it
that one.
one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. I don't remember the name of that song, but he's talking about building a Cadillac for like 10 years, working at the Cadillac plant, stealing all the parts one at a time. It's a pretty good song.
Dude,
Check it
JP,
out.
you worked for Spectrum. Spectrum sucks. Spectrum is awful. I sold Spectrum for a while. One of my jobs, I sold TV and internet over the phone, and so people would move and they would set up their utilities, and their utility company would transfer them to us. We were called All Connect, and I was like a representative for Dish, AT&T, Spectrum. Representative for. And dude, Spectrum was awful, man. People would I would tell people Spectrum, be like, yeah, you're gonna have up to 100 megabyte download speed. That's pretty good. And this was in like 2017, so 100 megabytes was decent. And I would get like complaints all the time, like, I have 7 download speed. This is boring.
I have Spectrum, and I currently have 421 download, 21 upload. Unfortunately for me, I live out in the country. We have 2 providers for internet out here. We have Spectrum, and we have I forget what it's called, something Connect. The other one is supposed to be better, but I live right on the line of where 2 different power companies supply this side of town and that side of town. To have the other one with the better internet, you have to be on the other power company's grid. So I can't get the better internet. I'm stuck with Spectrum.
Speaking of energy, that's my favorite when people say resellers are scum. I'm like, oh, are you talking about Walmart reselling you Kellogg cereal or your city reselling you electricity? Which one do you hate?
Right.
Yeah.
So stupid, man.
Jake, have you ever sold any model airplanes that are already put together? Nate says
a couple.
I never have.
You just gotta bubble wrap the crap out of them.
He's trying to figure out if it's worth a purchase, I guess, in a private pick. I guess it all is a price point on that stuff, right? I'm never selling it myself, but
yeah, like
I can't imagine those swords and daggers.
It really depends on the brand and the manufacturer, just like everything.
Yeah.
Some model planes and boats sell for hundreds, some sell for 40 to 60, some have $19 shipped with a 2% sell-through rate. So,
yeah.
And Anthony, Dragon Master Finds just said the same thing basically. So, and Dragon Master Finds taught me everything I know about eBay, so that makes sense.
Sounds like the price point will be a good price point if she doesn't want to throw them away. So that's a It's always a good start to a negotiation for sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, sourcing has been really, really good lately. It's warming up, and so people are letting go of stuff. It's nice.
I haven't sourced in a couple weeks, other than that yard sale, a couple yard sales last weekend, and then the one this weekend. I haven't hit a flea market in a few weeks. I'm getting a little twitchy. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm a little worried because on Thursday I have a Dibbed It Thread show with Kevin Commonwealth Picker at 11, and I got to make sure I get up early enough to get to the flea market and back to the warehouse for the show. So I should be able to do it.
Yeah, no, spring sourcing is awesome. Did I talk about the 250 home community sale in the podcast or no?
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah, I have a killer video coming out soon. Hopefully it'll do really well. I got $8,000 worth of stuff. Great. And nice, I spent like $97 total.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got like Guitar Hero guitars for $2. I got a Nikon camera that sells for like $400 for $5. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, there was a town-wide community sale that it said over 300 houses, and then the day of they're like, oh yeah, there's just over 250. Like, holy cow, that's insane. Yeah. So I went to probably 70 of them. Good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let me actually check.
I wish I could hit
treasure map today.
In a day.
What's that?
Said I wish I could hit 70 in a day. For me to hit 70 in a day, I got to drive hours.
I mean, that's typically what I would have to do. Like, so I usually, the average weekend, I go to like 15 to 25. Just depending
that's
on
more realistic.
So when it's just a whole community, and like I don't know. I don't really know what the HOA cultures are like in the rest of the United States, but like in Utah, it's like very proactive. In some neighborhoods, you're not even allowed to have a yard sale. You're only allowed to do yard sales on the HOA designated yard sale days. And so that's why you have like 200 people doing a yard sale at the same time, because it's sanctioned by the HOA.
Yeah.
And if you do it outside of that weekend, then they'll fine you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of HOAs around here that do that. You can only hold them on sanctioned days, like you said. Sometimes they'll even not allow you to do them at your home, but they have a designated area in the neighborhood, like at the pool. Usually they have like a clubhouse or something, and they'll let you set up in the parking lots. It's kind of crazy around here, but
I went to one.
I can imagine 250 in a day, or in one area. Like the most I ever see, maybe 50 to 70, and I usually get to, like you said, 15 to 20 of them, maybe.
Yeah, I went to one last Saturday that was like you're describing, Shane, where I never seen it before, but they were all in like this one like field area inside this development. I guess they weren't allowed to have it at their house. But,
well, you remember the jerseys I sent you guys pictures of asking about this weekend? That yard sale was kind of cool. It was a storage facility where like 15 different people at the storage facility got together and said, hey, let's have a yard sale here. So nice. They just opened their doors up and were selling stuff out of their units. It was kind of cool.
That is cool.
I'd never seen that before, but that was kind of cool.
How many people live in your town? You'd say like 80,000 ish.
Let me see.
Shane?
Mine's bigger than that, I believe.
It says the Philadelphia metro population is 6.3 million. That is massive. Yeah,
my town is like 5,800, but that's, I'm not far from major areas.
Yeah, all right. So I was wrong. Mine's 20 in 2020 it was 24,000.
Oh. But did you type in metropolis area, or did you just type in the name?
Yeah, I just typed in the name. Like if
I typed in Philadelphia metro population, which includes your suburb and all the other ones.
Okay.
And then if you go to Salt Lake metro, we have 1.3 million, but we also have a second valley that has about 800,000. So we have about 2 million people here.
Okay.
Okay,
Good
so
size.
if I put in Columbia
There you
Metro,
go.
it's 837,000.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah. So how far are you from your city center then?
Me, probably 20-minute drive.
Okay, so just a bit farther than Shane, but a bit than Keith, but a bit closer than me.
Yeah. Maybe 25 if there's traffic.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty close. Like I live in Lexington County, and Columbia is in Richland County, but it literally is like a 5-minute drive to get into Richland County.
Keith, put Dragon
Philadelphia.
Master's comment on the screen. That's funny.
This one? They were the bottom one.
No,
Okay.
the bottom one.
Oh, okay.
Philadelphia
I
is
see
a
that.
45-minute drive from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, dude,
It is a wide city, which maybe is that he's alluding to traffic or just the size of the city.
Well,
Yeah.
so one of my secret nerd things is I love maps. So sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just go like look at the huge integral highway intersections between like, New Jersey and New York and Boston and stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, Philadelphia's messed up. Dude. Your guys' roads are just so. It's because when we first got here, the government's just like, oh yeah, 5 acres, you can have it for free. Just go build a farm. And so everyone's so like here in Salt Lake, the Mormon church leaders, they have like a vision, and we have the temple, and then we have these huge blocks. So the temple is in the center of the city, and then there's North Temple. One block above it is 100 North, 200 North, 300 North, all the way up to like 4,800. And then it's just the same on all the streets after that. So it's like a perfect grid. It's super easy to travel around.
So that's how New York City is. The first time I went, I was kind of intimidated because I'm a Southern boy going to the Big Apple for the first time. I was kind of intimidated, but once you figure out it's a grid and roads are north and south, and I forget streets are east and west. I forget. It's been a while since I've been there, but I was there for 2 years. And once you figured out the grid, man, it was easy to get around. You could hop on you could walk, you could hop on the train, whatever, the subway, and get to wherever you needed to go. I remember the first time I went to Yankee Stadium, I ended up in Coney Island, a long ways from Yankee Stadium because I had no idea how to. I was on the subway for the first time in my life. I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Dude, the subways are insane.
Yeah, it was funny.
But yeah, so Brigham Young, he was the prophet of the church, and basically the governor of the state. And he said that all of the streets have to be big enough for a horse and carriage to do a U-turn. So our streets are not only are we on a perfect grid, but our streets are super, super wide. So like our main streets in Salt Lake City have 5 lanes on each side. It's pretty nice.
Oh wow,
nice.
Yeah, that is.
Have you guys watched American Primeval on Netflix?
Never even heard of that.
Brigham Young's in it. So
yeah, they paint him as like a badass in that.
Yeah. So this show, Keith, it's on Netflix. It's a limited series. It's like 8 maybe 6 episodes. I can't remember. Amazing show, but it's during the time that the Native Americans and this is all based in Utah. Native Americans, the U.S. military, and the Mormon church are basically fighting over territory and stuff in Utah, and it's such a killer. Yeah, it's a killer show, man. It's worth a watch if you guys are interested in. I like learning about stuff, and I know they made some of it kind of fancy,
dramatized it for sure.
Yeah, but anytime there's like real life history going on in movies and shows, I enjoy that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I really like based on true stories.
Yeah, I'll check it out. That sounds pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But like I learned more about Brigham Young in that show than I ever had before because the Mormon church isn't popular out here. Like if we have Mormons here, it's because they made their way this way at some point in their life. But so it was pretty cool to see some of that history, even though, like you said, some of it was probably dramatized and, made a little cooler for TV. But
Yeah.
It was a damn good show.
So do you guys know about like the Salt Lake Temple? Because it's
Not at all.
ultra iconic here, but it doesn't make waves all
Nope.
the way out there. Yeah, so I mean, just every time someone plays the Utah Jazz, they pan over the city, and that's like the focal point, so people see it or whatever. It's pretty world famous, but I mean, I guess you guys don't know about it, but
Yeah,
so
I mean,
game,
I see stuff like that, but I don't know anything about any of it.
well, so they started building the temple, and it took 40 years to complete it.
Oh wow.
Because it took them 4 years just to dig the trench. This thing is massive. It's like 600,000 square feet or something like that. It's super huge. And so it took them 4 years just to dig the foundation and put all of that. And so they dug the foundation. It took 4 years, and then the U.S. government started to send over some officials to like arrest some of the members of the church because they were still practicing polygamy at the time. And if and the government like burnt a lot of civilization on the way, and so they had to bury the foundation. 4 years of work, they just buried it before the U.S. government got there, and they had to spend an additional 2 years digging it back up, and then like 34 more years just to build the actual edifice. So it was
And when is this time period? When was it built?
like 1860 or something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Utah became a state like 1847, and they immediately got to work on the temple. So
Okay.
yeah, 1850s and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty dope though. Like
Yeah, true.
Mormon history, even if you're not a member of the church, it's some super interesting stuff. It's rad.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so I never even heard of the temple. And probably when the Sixers play the Jazz, it's a late night game for me, so I'm already asleep. I don't see a lot of the West Coast games, so yeah. I'll have to check it out though.
Yeah,
I love history. So.
We actually have a temple in New York. It's just like the second floor of a huge skyscraper. It's pretty rad.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, Keith, go watch American Primeval, man. I think you'll dig it.
I'll definitely do it. My wife loves a period piece. That's all I ever. If I'm in there editing, it's always some sort of Victorian thing she's watching, or I don't know what's going on.
Oh, what's that super popular one on Netflix? Bridgerton, something. Like
yeah, Bridgerton.
Yeah,
Bridgerton. Did she watch that?
She watched that. Yeah, like all the Outlander stuff. Like I don't know if you watched. Yeah, yep. I think I watched a little bit of Outlander with her, but I'm not a huge period piece unless it's like a true like historical show. Then I'm down with it. We watched what movie we watched last on Mother's Day. It was a weird Mother's Day movie to watch, but it was terrible. It was the Woman in the Yard, I think it was called.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of a cool premise. Yeah, she loves the Viking shows too, Andy. Yeah, she'd like that. It's like this woman in like a black veil just shows up in this woman's front yard who had just lost her husband, and it's like this ominous premonition. It wasn't great though. I love a horror movie, but
yeah, my wife won't watch any horror movies at all. She doesn't like that stuff at all.
Yeah, mine either. I'm shocked she agreed to watch it on Mother's Day because it was sort of we all watched it together. But there was no movies on demand. There was nothing new.
I could see Shane being pretty pumped about the new Final Destination coming out. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm interested in it. I like those movies because they're so original. If that makes sense. Like I'm a fan of originality, and every time they make a movie, it's the same plot line, but it's such a different movie that is enjoyable, if you ask me. Now, they can go a little over the top with some of their stuff. I prefer horror movies if it can actually happen in real life. I enjoy that more than ghosts and goblins and what I'm like.
So like you would consider
monsters.
Saw like that's something that could actually happen in real life?
Yeah, there could be some psycho out there, pulling that kind of stuff. So I enjoy movies like that. Now I will say the movie I am most excited about, if you guys follow me on Facebook, you may already know this. Stephen King used to write as Richard Bachman way, way back in the day. And he wrote a book called The Long Walk. It's been my favorite book for 30 years, and I've been waiting 30 years for a movie adaptation, and it has finally been announced.
Oh,
It's
awesome.
coming this year. I cannot wait. So this is not your typical Stephen King. This was before he wrote horror. Like, he mainly does horror, but this is a dystopian futuristic kind of movie about a long walk. I'm not going to spoil it because hopefully you guys watch it. It's not horror, but this book, I think, spawned the likes of Hunger Games and Scorch Trials and all these different movies and books like that. So called The Long
awesome.
Walk. It's going to be great. Yeah, I made a post on Facebook about it, about how excited I was, because when I saw that, I was, man, jumping for joy. I've been waiting on that for a long time.
Is that the one you were talking about where they he pulled it off the market? That's a different Bachman book.
Yeah, that's something that never actually made it to the light of day.
Okay.
That one. The Long Walk was in a, how Stephen King will write these books that it's like a book with multiple books in it, multiple stories, short stories. It's one of those. It's a story inside one of those. I actually had a paperback copy of it, and they're not easy to find. Now that the movie's going to come out, they'll be re-releasing this book, guaranteed. But that's a hard paperback to find, and I actually had one, and I did a show on Whatnot, and I sold a lot of my Stephen King collection, and people saw it on my shelves and begged me to run it, and I didn't want to, but I was like, I can find it again, eventually. So I'm going to give the people what they want. And I ran the book, and I've regretted it ever since, even though it's not very valuable because it's just, a little paperback. But it was the only copy I had. And, it kind of sucked to let it go. But I was just trying to give the people what they wanted during my show.
Yeah.
And figured I'd find another copy. But now that the movie's coming out, they'll definitely re-release the book. So not a big deal for sure now.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out, or I'll maybe read it or audio book it, which I know is a sin for book lovers. Probably. I know Alex didn't like the audio book idea.
I'm not an audio book fan. I did try it a few times. I couldn't get into it, man. Even on long trips, like I used to travel full time, and when I would be driving or whatever, I'd throw a audio book on. And back then you could get the tapes and stuff in the truck stops.
Yeah.
And I'd stop and get one and listen. And I don't know, I just could never get into it. I much preferred wait till I got to the hotel room, get my shower and just chill in the bed and read till I fall asleep. That's always been me, though.
I used to always be like audio. There you go. It's getting there. I used to always be an audiobook guy on long trips, but like me and my dad go a lot of long trips, like to Chicago for the National. And it's usually all podcasts now.
Yeah.
Like, listen to this great one. It's Crime in Sports. Is these two comedians who they delve into a different athlete each week and the crimes they've committed. And it's interesting as hell.
Yeah.
And the same guys also have another one called Small Town Murders, where it's delves into a murder that happened usually in the past in small town somewhere. But it's these guys are comedians, and it's hard to make a grisly murder humorous. But they do. They do. A lot of it's they'll do at the beginning of the podcast, they'll review. They read Google reviews on the town, and those things are hilarious. So it's.
I didn't know you could Google review a whole town.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but they find them somewhere. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
How many stars does Philadelphia have? It's always sunny there.
We have to check it out. That's a good question.
Keith, have you ever gone over to Amityville and checked out the Amityville house?
No. I don't know where it is, to be honest. Is it New York? Okay.
Yeah, Amityville, New York. And let me tell you, that's the most disappointed I've ever been.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was like, oh, the Amityville house. I'm going to go check it out. It's just some street in the suburbs or some house like these. I even went on Halloween night, and these people don't even celebrate. They don't decorate or anything. I'm like, dude, you live in the murder house. How do you not do Halloween? But New York's kind of cool for stuff like that. The Sleepy Hollow's there. That's a cool town. We built an AT&T cell system in a church there, a 300-plus-year-old church in Sleepy Hollow. This place, first off, the structure itself was amazing inside, because we we put everything, all the antennas in the steeple, and then all the cables and stuff run through the ceilings and through the walls and stuff. And so we got to see a lot of the church that most people don't get to see. Man, there's so many like hidden rooms and walkways and passageways and stuff through this church. It was insane, man.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was so cool. But yeah, New York's cool for stuff like that, man. Sleepy Hollow, that town, they live it up. You know, they take advantage of that Sleepy Hollow story, and you know, they got statues, and Halloween's amazing. They do it right over there. And old people own the Amityville house are boring.
Salem's the same way. I've been in Salem, and that's a pretty cool place. I'm sure better at Halloween time.
I've never been, but I would love to go to Salem.
Yeah, it's nice. It's fun. Nice town too. So Andy in the chat said Shining is his favorite movie. So that sort of fits with your like theme of a horror movie that could happen. But Shane, for me, this could happen if you could find a haunted VHS tape and you watch it, you're going to die in like 30 days or whatever it is. That could happen.
Is that
right?
The Ring? Is it
The
your
Ring?
Ring?
Yeah,
the Ring fan?
That's my favorite. Yeah,
that's funny. No, I've been to that hotel that The Shining was filmed in. That's in Colorado. Yeah, it's in Colorado.
Oh, cool.
And I spent a couple of years out in Colorado, and I discovered it. I didn't realize it. I was driving to Rocky Mountain National Park from Denver, and I passed it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that looks super familiar." So then I Googled it, and I was like, "No ways! Now I gotta go." So I bought a season pass to Rocky Mountain National Park, and every chance I got to go walk the halls of that hotel and check it out, I went.
Very cool. VHS tape called The Mannequin.
The Mannequin. Hey, that's a good movie, man.
Yeah, I like The Mannequin.
That's before Jake's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know The Mask. Just kidding.
That was a good one too.
Come on, got roasted.
Dude, Jim Carrey is an interesting, some would say, quack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten a little strange in his older age. People don't know what to think about him anymore. I still love the dude.
Yeah. I like it. I love the Grinch, dude. Like, I'll watch it right now outside of the Christmas season. It's a really good one.
Yeah, it is.
And then Dumb and Dumber, obviously.
That's classic, man.
Yeah,
Dumb and Dumber's classic.
Yeah,
that you can watch it.
The scene where the girls are like, "Oh, we need a few boys to oil us up."
This is the end it, right? The end of the first movie.
Yeah.
You're in love.
Oh yeah, just a few miles that way. He's like, "Dude, are you an idiot? Do you realize what we just did? What?
It tells that
That's
way.
the other way." Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I grew up. My dad loved. Man, I'm kind of blanking on his name. Tommy Boy. Is that Chris McFarlane?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. Yeah, dude, my dad loved that guy, and so I liked him.
Yeah,
I love
his SNL skit where he's like trying not to be a Chippendale dancer. That's
hilarious. Oh yeah, him and Patrick Swayze.
Everyone loves the van down by the river, but I like that. I think that's funnier when he's trying to be a Chippendale.
He's probably the best physical comedian ever, right? I mean, just how he carried himself.
Him and David Spade were amazing together. Tommy Boy. What was the other one? They did.
Beverly Hills Ninja. Was that he wasn't? I don't think Spade was in that. Was he in that?
No, Spade was it.
The one where he's like a Black Sheep. Black Sheep. I think he was in.
Yeah, Black Sheep.
Where he was like running for
office
Black
or something.
Sheep Society.
Yeah.
No, close. Brad. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Damn. Totally blanked. I'll think of it.
Blank,
no,
blank,
you won't.
Blank.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get it back because it was good. It was good. it might be gone.
That's the thing about podcasting. We all got to talk over each other for no silence, and then you forget what you said.
And I know
actually
we're probably getting close to ending this show because we got people we want to support over on First Class Treasures tonight, right? But Keith, we got a big show on Friday night.
Oh yeah. Hops and Hits, episode 7, maybe
7, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's gonna be good. You have something exciting. I have something that's different and exciting. I'm still gonna get the beer for it, but
I do too. I got to go tomorrow.
Yeah, but for people in the chat who don't know what we're talking about, we once a month, me, Shane, Sean, the Really Perspective Show in the chat, and then the King of Penance. we do a 5-channel multicasted video where we all rip a different type of card box and we do a different type of beer tasting. Sometimes it's non-alcoholic. I mean, I think, well, maybe it wasn't on it. Sean was off of beer for Lent, so he was drinking other things. So yeah.
But it's fun. It's a live show. We streamed to 5 different YouTube channels all at once. It's pretty fun. So we'd love to see you guys there on Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely my favorite time of month for just to relax for a couple hours. And I'm not a big drinker, but I'll have one beer and and it's always fun to see the cards.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Oh, I did remember what I was going to say though. I follow like this channel on Instagram. It's like Chris Farley clips. They show different Chris Farley clips, but somehow that account was like hacked, and now it's like an OnlyFans account for some girl. It's weird. It just vanished. Now it's
they probably sold it to her. I actually did that back when I was like 17. I made my first $10,000 in my junior year of high school I would create Vine and Twitter accounts, and I'd get them up to like 30,000 followers, and then I'd just sell them to other teenage girls with daddy's money that want to be famous. It was awesome.
It makes a lot of sense because she acts like the premise is she's his daughter, Chris Farley's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
So they must have bought it from her. It's sort of smart.
That's
I never, I like it.
Anthony said it would take him 3 full podcasts to get down an entire beer. Well, I don't know how these guys only do one on Hops and Hips. I usually have 2 of the beers, whatever I'm drinking, but I'll always have a glass of something.
I'll hop on with
beer.
my little Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, hey,
yeah, man.
I know me and Andy have done. We did a tea episode on Rips and Brews, which is where we were both sick. So we were
We had like honey tea.
Yeah, I think I
remember that.
Yeah. So we drink a little bit of everything over there.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good show, man. It's fun. It's entertaining, and you guys don't want to miss it.
Absolutely.
Friday night. This Friday night.
If you're into cards, I'm doing my first rip on Dibda Cards. There's some of the sampling of the rip back there. So that's Thursday night.
Your break, right?
First break. Did I say rip? Yeah, first break on Dibda Cards on Thursday. So you can bid now up until I think like 8:30ish, 8 to 8:30 on Thursday night. And we'll see. A little pressure. No, football. It's Donruss Optic.
Oh.
It's two blasters, a mega box, and then a little, because I'm vintage sports, it's a little vintage flair. I'm going to do an 89 score pack to throw in there. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
I need to get in on that.
Yeah.
So are you doing everyone bids on a certain team, or how are you doing it?
Yeah, you can bid. The team auctions run for a week, so you can bid now. You go in there and bid for the Cleveland Browns and bid. So it's not like a random thing. It's just you'll know who you have going in.
So are the Browns? I mean, those cards haven't come out yet, but do you think the Browns people are really going to be chasing Sanders?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's well, he must be. He might be in those sets in like an auto. Maybe not. Andy'll tell me because he maybe signs for. He had a deal with Panini, right, Andy? Shador.
What the heck is a ayahuasca?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Ayahuasca.
Andy, speak English, brother.
Is that like a quit your belly aching thing?
Yeah, Native American brew of some sort.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Dude, it took me. It felt long to me because I was in it, but I learned Spanish really fast. But it took me like 7 months to really start getting it down, and then all of a sudden I walked into this person's house and he started speaking to me in a dialect. I'm like, dude, I can't keep up, dude. This is wild.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a South American beverage.
He didn't look that up, and he didn't even tell us.
Made from plants that it makes you spiritual.
Oh
no.
Ayahuasca and spiritual experiences.
What if you're like an angry drunk? Will it still give you the spiritual experience?
He's trying to get his drink peyote over there. What's he doing in the chat?
Dude, peyote, man.
It's a traditional drink used for spiritual ceremonies, divination, and healing in the Amazon and Orinoco basins.
Interesting.
Dude, my best friend in high school. So the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints works ultra sober. We don't do any recreational stuff or things like that. And he went on this scout camp and he did peyote. And he felt so, he's like, dude, I'm going to hell.
Oh,
That was so funny. I was just like, nah, dude, you're good. You're good, brother.
oh man.
Dude, peyote. Or I remember when I was in high school, I remember hearing on the news, I can't remember what it was called, but it was just like these herbs that you could like get. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like sweeping the nation, and everyone was like super worried about it. And then I feel like it just died off. Spice. It was called Spice, I think. Do you guys remember Spice at all?
I think I've heard of it, but yeah, I was probably a little too old for Spice at that point. Maybe, I guess maybe nobody's too old for it. I don't even know. But
I guess Kamala Harris isn't too old for it, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I used to smoke weed and listen to what did she say? Snoop Dogg, and he wasn't even an artist back then. It was funny. Yeah, like a reporter asked her about her college days and her favorite rap artists to listen to back then. She like starts naming off like 4 guys that weren't even rappers yet. It's funny.
I will say, I didn't hear that interview, but for me, like to know, like I know I listened to Snoop, I listened to Chronic all the time in high school. That was, but like some stuff I wouldn't be able to like pinpoint in my life when I listened to it. It's like the temporal part of that might be off, but that's pretty funny though. The Chronic, I think it was my senior year in high school.
Dude, guys, this is a little known fact about me. I love getting in the tub. I just enjoy just sitting in a hot bath before going to sleep, and I throw in some bath salts for sure. No, we can drink coffee. We just don't drink. I mean, we can drink caffeine. We just don't drink coffee.
Okay.
So like I have energy drinks and Mountain Dew and stuff. Some people are like really, really weird about it and don't let themselves or their kids have caffeine, but the church has never said you can't have it. But dude, caffeine is insane. Like if we like discovered caffeine today, it would be an illegal drug for sure. Like that's so addicting, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had a medical procedure a couple of years ago, and I couldn't drink. You can't drink. It was a colonoscopy. I'll just say that, but it was you couldn't drink any like colored liquid for like a day, and I could go without eating, I could go without like, but without coffee, I had like a pounding headache for like 24 hours straight. I mean, it was like searing headache, terrible.
Yeah. I've actually gone off caffeine. I haven't had caffeine in over 2 weeks. And
wow.
First 4 days was awful, but
yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't function the way I guess eventually you could, but I wouldn't try.
How many milligrams are you drinking a day right now?
I don't even know. I mean, I wake up, I drink like 2 big cups of coffee before I get off the couch, and then I drink another one like late morning, or if I'm at work, I'll drink energy drinks, or I have like that miso like caffeine like water additive that I'll add instead of an energy drink.
I use those additives, but I don't use the energy ones, just the sugar-free flavor. Because I try to drink more water. I was bad about drinking water when I was actually working, for another company. But since I got laid off and I've been full-time reseller, I've been drinking tons of water every single day. Like I buy like a case of water twice a week. Like the big Walmart ones that are like 48 bottles. I go through 2 of those a week pretty much. But I only have 1 cup of coffee every morning, and I do generally have a C4 energy drink sometime throughout the early afternoon.
They got beta alanine in them. Make your face feel like on fire.
Oh yeah, I had one, and I was like amped up, and I was angry. I was an angry C4 drunk.
Have you guys ever taken niacin?
No,
just straight niacin. I think it's vitamin B12 or something like that. But if you just take like a full like a 10 milligram pill of guys, if they want to like PR in a squat or something, then they'll take a niacin 30 minutes before going to the gym. I ran cross country in high school, and I would average like a 17.5 minute 5K, which is like one of the best worst guys, if that makes sense. So I was like top tier I was like the 6th or 7th man in basketball terms, I guess. But then one day I took a niacin and I got a PR. I broke my record by like 45 seconds, which is really hard to
Nice.
do when you're trained. So it was awesome. Yeah, niacin.
Lad, that Death Wish coffee's good, man. Keith, that maybe you got to switch to Death Wish.
I've had that actually, but it actually the pod like screwed up my Keurig. It broke it. I don't know how. So yeah,
that sucks.
I think I had to buy a new Keurig after using it. It might be just that pod was messed up, but
see, JP's my kind of guy. He has one Ghost energy drink, natural caffeine and 0 sugar. That's what my wife likes, Ghost. Then water all day at work, and pretty much beer and whiskey when I'm home after 9 to 5. I don't drink a whole lot of beer. I literally only drink beer for the Hops and Hits simulcast we do once a month. But I do drink whiskey, not every night, but I'm a social drinker and I don't have a social life. You guys are my social life, YouTube. So anytime I'm live, whether I'm selling, just doing a live show, whatever, I always have a glass of something. Tonight it's vodka, not whiskey. But yeah.
Switching it up.
Yep. 2 nights in a row. Drank vodka last night too.
Well, boys, it's been fun. We need to do this. I don't know, every 2 weeks or so, maybe try to do it.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, maybe even have some guests on too for the live hangout. Should be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, those of you guys that are watching live right now, if you can do me a favor, hit the second link in the description. It's firstclasstreasures.com. The Rad Picker and Hard Rock Resell are both selling live right now on a co-stream. I'd love it if you guys would sign up for the platform and come hang out with us in the live stream, because that's where I'm heading right now.
Awesome.
Yep.
Sure.
You guys got anything to sign off?
No, just check us out Friday night, guys. Any of our channels. So Soda City Flips, Soda City Rips, the Real Life Perspective Show, Vintage Sport Flips, and Rips and Brews. Those are the 5 channels we'll be simulcasting to Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just a fun hangout, man. Come check us out. And let's go see everybody over here at firstclasstreasures.com here in just a few minutes.
Yeah. And then I'll be live on my channel tomorrow night, Vintage Sport Flips, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, with the King of Pennants, our weekly podcast giveaway every week. Yep. King of Babbling will be in the house. And I'll be on Dib to Threads Thursday, Dib to Cards tomorrow, Dib to Cards on Thursday. So yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Jake looks so unenthused and is frozen.
There we go. He's back.
You were frozen for a second.
That's so weird. Well, boys,
awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
right,
man.
Enjoy
it, buddy. We'll see you guys over at firstclasstreasures.com. Y'all have a good night.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Bye.